Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Cheryl. If you're new, welcome to the C Squad. And if you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for joining me again. Today we're back with another monthly reset. My monthly resets are a time at the beginning of each month where I budget, plan my calendar, set goals for the next month, and share my monthly favorites. If you like these types of videos, I'll have my finance playlist linked down below, which also has my previous month's resets. Feel free to follow me along in this video. This is your sign to reset for December. Before we get into it, please subscribe to my channel for more lifestyle videos and vlogs. We are on the road to 20K and I'd really appreciate it. And without further ado, let's get straight into it. So as usual, we're gonna start off the monthly reset with my favorite part, budgeting. Honestly, doing these monthly resets really helps me stay accountable because I don't know if I would necessarily go through my transactions the way that I do each month if it wasn't for these videos. It is a little bit scary every time I do it because I come across stuff and I'm like, when did I buy this? When did this happen? So these videos definitely help me stay accountable. If you would like to budget along with me, I do have a how I budget and save my money video with a free budget template linked down below, so definitely check that out. As I'm filming this, we're not quite at the end of November yet. There's still like 2-3 days left, but I'm not gonna do any crazy spending, at least I hope, in the next few days. But this is my spending so far. So looking over at my laptop, we have November's budget. This was my plan for the month of November, and this is how the spending actually went. So as usual, rent was my largest expense of the month. Then we had transport. I thought my transport expense would be lower this month because I took the last week of November off. I'm currently on my annual leave as I film this. So I thought I'd be saving money not having to pay for trains to go to work. I decided to go on a spa trip, and the spa was a little bit more remote than I was expecting it to be. So I actually had to spend quite a bit on Ubers to and from the hotel. I ended up not saving as much money in transport this month as I thought I would. Next up, we had my food expense, which is another one that I thought I was gonna spend less money in. Yeah, hotel food can be really expensive, especially if you order in room service. So yeah, ended up spending quite a bit in food, more than I really wanted to. Sometimes you have to treat yourself, and everything worked out fine in the budget. I'm not overspending as a whole in the budget, but for food, I definitely did overspend. Then we have subscriptions, which was on par with my estimated spend. Miscellaneous, we did super well this month. I only bought 2 things. I bought braiding hair, so if you guys can tell, this is a different color to what I usually do for my hair. And then I also bought, what else did I buy? Blah, 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 blah. And then I also bought a pair of earrings. Then I put away my usual amount in savings. This is your sign to save. Even if it's a small amount each month, it will add up. And then I put in my same amount into my ISA. Good update from the last time. So my purchase of NASDAQ 100 did end up going through, so that is great. And so far, since I began investing, I'm up 100 pounds, which is insane to me. Just by me putting money in my ISA and just like leaving it to grow the last few years, I've basically made 100 pounds, which is really cool. I'm definitely gonna be more consistent with it, especially now that I'm seeing results, because I did stop putting money into my ISA for like a solid year there. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna be better about it because I am seeing good results and I'm really happy. Then for the rest of November, I still have about 5% of my monthly income that I haven't spent. So whatever I don't spend in the next 2 or 3 days is going to be put into my savings account. Now here's the slide where you see the areas in which I overspent or underspent. Rent, savings, and ISA are fixed expenses, so those stay the same. So I spent exactly as much as I wanted to in all 3 of those areas. However, as I mentioned before, transport and food was not a good time for me. I definitely spent more than I wanted to, but luckily because I underspent in miscellaneous so much because I didn't do any shopping really, it ended up balancing out with the budget. Then we have my December budget. So this is roughly the same. I think transport is just a little bit less because I am going to be going on leave towards the end of December, so I won't have to pay for train tickets. But as we saw before, maybe that doesn't mean anything. Next up, let's go into my plan with me section. So I'm going to be using my digital monthly planner to plan out the month of December, just highlight some key dates and events that I need to keep in mind. I will have my template linked down below in my Etsy shop, as well as the fun little stickers that I use. So definitely check that out. And without further ado, let's get into the voiceover. Hey guys, welcome to another plan with me section. So we've got my December monthly planner. I started off by filling in all the dates of December. December is a little bit longer than I have room for in my planner, so I cut out the 30th and 31st because I don't have any plans for those days. I also filled in some upload days for the month of December, as well as my monthly reminder to pay my rent. Then I'm also adding in some rest days. So I am going to be going on leave about mid-December until early January. So a nice long break. And I'm also having a dinner in London on the 8th, and also our Christmas party with my company on the 11th. And then I also put in a reset day, and of course filled in my monthly goals. Okay, so that is what the month of December is going to be looking like. I'm really excited for some of these events, particularly my dinner on the 8th and my Christmas party on the 11th. As usual, I jotted down my goals for this month. Well, really, it's just one goal. But before we get into that, let's recap last month's goals. So last month's goal was to wake up at 6:30 a.m. on work from home days because I had been slacking and I really need to use that time before work on work from home days to edit videos, film videos, do the YouTube thing. So this was a success. I definitely got my act together just before the end of the year, so that is great. Then my second goal was to journal daily during my annual leave. I'm still currently on my annual leave, so I have been journaling. I guess I'm on 3.5 days now, so that's been going well. I'm gonna call that an almost success, and hopefully I can get to the end of the week doing that. So carrying over to December, I didn't want to do too much for December. I actually want to use December as my relaxation period to like recharge and just relax after such a hectic, busy year. So I really only put one goal. I have been enjoying the journaling that I've done over the last few days. I would love to do it every day, but yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do that. So right now I've just put it for 3 times a week. I try and make my goals as achievable as possible. Don't go 0 to 100, more like 0 to 30. So yeah, we'll see how that goes, but I'll talk more about my 5-minute journal in my monthly favorites. Speaking of which, let's jump straight into my monthly favorites. So if you don't know, my monthly favorites is just where I share some of my favorite things of the month. So this month is going to be just a tad bit different. This is such a random one, but I actually have to shout this out because it's actually very monumental for me. So I got a new work laptop. As you can see, she is much smaller and cuter than my last one. So if you guys have been watching the vlogs since I started my 9 to 5, I had a giant laptop. Like, it was ginormous and it was very heavy. Not the most convenient thing, especially when you are working in London, and sometimes I get on the tube in the middle of the workday to go and visit agencies and it's just like so heavy, it's not the vibe. So I went to our IT department and I asked if I could get a new laptop, and shout out to them because they were so helpful and they got me a new one. So I absolutely love this. This is a Microsoft Redmond. It's also touchscreen, which I absolutely love. I'm obsessed with it. And it's just so lightweight. It really has made just like the biggest difference. So yeah, that's definitely been one of my favorite things from this month. Then also coming to the 5-minute journal that I was telling you guys about earlier. So if you watched my vlog where I went to Windsor with YouTube, this was actually gifted to me by them, and I hadn't used it since that trip, but I really said to myself I wanted to use it this week. Obviously I went on my spa trip, so the idea was to just kind of relax, rejuvenate, and I think the 5-minute journal was a good addition to that as well. So the journal's pretty simple and easy to use. I haven't done some of the stuff at the beginning, like you have a commitment that you make and identity statements. I won't lie, I didn't do any of that stuff. Maybe I'll come back to it another day. I decided to keep it simple, so I've basically just been doing this day and night page. I don't do it first thing when I wake up. It will be more like a before midday type of thing. So I start out with the 3 things that I'm grateful for, 3 things that would make today great, and then I do a daily affirmation. And then in the evening before I go to bed, I do 3 highlights of the day and what I learned that day. So if you guys want to follow along with me but you don't want to get the book, those are the things that I basically do. I've really been enjoying the daily affirmation part the most, but I'm not gonna lie, I'm not the best at coming up with affirmations. So I've spoken about this in previous videos, but I have an app on my phone called I Am, and it basically gives you daily affirmations, and you can actually set the time so it can give you affirmations every hour. I think I typically get 2, maybe 3 affirmations a day, and that's really helpful. So I've just been kind of keeping an eye on what affirmations pop up on my phone, and if I like it, I screenshot it and then I put it here. So one that I saw last night before I went to bed that I put for today's daily affirmation is, I am totally committed to making positive changes in my life. And I really like that one. I feel like that kind of fits with the whole idea and theme of the setting goals. I really like the gratitude journaling part. I think it's really good to just reflect on the things that you're grateful for, the things that went well, because I feel like sometimes it's easy to focus on the things that didn't go well that day. So yeah, so that's definitely been one of my favorites. So that brings us to the end of the December monthly reset, my last monthly reset for the year. Just to let you guys know, if you're keeping an eye out in January, they won't be a January reset. In line with me taking my annual leave towards the end of December, I'm really just gonna be shutting down. So I'm not gonna be filming videos, not gonna be editing. I need a little bit of a break. We'll talk about that in a video, in my last video for this year. So stay tuned for that and I'll explain a little bit more. So there won't be a reset in January, but let me know what you guys think about the monthly resets, things that you want to incorporate just so that I can get some ideas for the new year. But yeah, thank you so much for watching this month's reset. And if you've also watched the previous month ones, I really appreciate that as well. I hope you guys have a wonderful December. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to join the C Squad and hit that notification bell to be notified when I upload new videos. I will see you guys in my next one. Bye!